right, now look, today I'm going to show y'all how I make skirt steak. Now, let me tell you something. Skirt steak is probably one of my favorite cuts of meat because when you cook it right and if you slice it right, it can be super tender. It can be great cold. You can have it on top of salads. You can turn it into a million different things. Carne asada. You can literally just eat it by itself. It is just a very versatile cut of meat. So what you're looking at right here is my homemade sofrito. Now, if you've never seen how I make this, definitely go just simply type in on TikTok, Simply Food by TY Sofrito. I will spell that on the screen. This right here is going to impart a lot of flavor. And let me tell you something, for everyone that's going to stress out and say, I don't feel like doing all of this, I make a gigantic batch of this, okay? And then I put it into ice trays and then I freeze them into cubes. I have not had to make a new batch of mine in over a year because it's not something that I use in every single recipe, but it freezes really, really well. So just understand that once you make this one time, it's not likely that you'll have to make it again within the next 6 months. So if I were you, take the time to make this and then come back to continue on with this recipe because this right here is going to impart a lot of flavor. Yes, you can buy the pre-made stuff that comes in the jars, but it's nothing like using the fresh stuff. So just keep that in mind. You're also going to need the caramelized onion butter from Kinder's. I'm going to be using the Brazilian Steakhouse seasoning blend from Grill Mates. You're going to need some olive oil and a little bit of smoked paprika. And like I said, I'm going to be using skirt steak. This is roughly about 2.6 pounds. You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Come on. All right, so as you guys can see, there really isn't much prep that I need to do to this. My butcher already trimmed this up beautifully just the way I want it to. This is a beautiful, beautiful cut of meat here. So now I have this inside of a bowl, and now we're literally just going to throw everything in this and allow it to marinate. It's not difficult to make skirt steak really at all. So now we can go on ahead and dump in our sofrito, which is literally a blend of peppers and herbs. I'm telling y'all, this right here is going to take this up a notch. I'm going to add in a half a tablespoon of the caramelized onion butter right on the top. I'm going to add in a few dashes of the smoked paprika, not too much. And to the Brazilian Steakhouse marinade mix, I'm going to add in 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. And I will also be adding in 1/4 of a cup of water. And now I'm just going to give this a good whisk. And now we can go in and pour this directly over the top. You want to make sure that you get all of that out of the bowl. And then with clean hands, go in and give this a good massage. You want to make sure that you are getting this meat fully covered. Because let me tell you something, this right here is where all the flavor comes in. And if you don't like touching raw meat, honey, just go on ahead and put on gloves. It's not that serious. And just like that, you have now marinated your skirt steak. And let me tell you something. As you can see, this is going to be jam-packed with flavor. All you need to do now is put the lid on this and marinate this for at least a minimum of 5 hours. You really want to let as many of those spices inject into that meat. If I were you, I would do it overnight. So the longer, the better. Definitely don't go more than 24 hours though. So don't get crazy with it. But you definitely want to do it for at least 5 hours. I'm going to put the lid on this and I'll come back when it's time to cook it, honey. And because I'm only making this skirt steak, I'm just going to use my small grill today. I'm not going to bring out the big boy, but go on ahead and get your charcoal nicely lit. Of course, you do not have to cook it on the grill. You can also do this on the stovetop. But once those coals get nice and white, that's when you know that you're ready to go. While your grill is getting nice and hot, go on ahead and make sure that you take your steak out of the fridge so that this can get down to room temperature. I have let this marinate overnight, and as you can see, it has really seeped through. This is going to be absolutely fabulous. You never want to put cold meat on direct hot heat or it'll seize up and it'll dry out. So you want to bring this down to room temperature. So I always take it out at the point in which I light the charcoal. I'll go on ahead and place my skirt steak right on the top and let it do its thing, honey. This should take, because of the thickness of this, it's probably be roughly about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. You can cook it to the, the wellness of your liking. Bruh, the smell out here is absolutely incredible. Almost done. Now that the skirt steak is all done, I'm going to allow this to rest for about 3 to 4 minutes to really lock in all those juices, and then we can go on ahead and slice it up. And because, I am who I am, I'm going to go across this with a little bit of garlic butter right across the top, just like that. And then just a little bit of parsley. Yes, yes. Has a beautiful little smoky ring around it. Oh my God, it's cooked to perfection, just the way I like it. Topped it off with some garlic butter and some fresh parsley. I'm leaving the little bits of rare for those that like it rare. This is exactly how I like it. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is absolutely divine. I love that it has a little bit of smokiness to it. Let's go in for a taste test, shall we? My God. Make it. And for anybody who thinks this is overcooked, watch. I didn't have to put my teeth on that. Oh my God.